Okay, kinesics is the study of body movement. So it's everything about how you move your body, from arm movement to whole body position, to gestures, to your head moving. It's how we move our body, kinesics. So I'm going to tell you 4 types of kinesic behavior right now. The first one is an emblem. E-M-B-L-E-M, an emblem. Emblems are body movements that have exact verbal translation. So there aren't that many of these. So if someone goes like this, it means peace, right? Someone says this, let's go over there. That means okay. It always means okay. But if I said this, it doesn't mean thumbs up. It doesn't always mean anything in particular. It's just an affirmative. It's like, good job, or I agree, or I understand, or let's do that. So that's not an emblem. When you're speaking and you use your body to move, so that little head nod or this little hand motion, those are called illustrators. Illustrators help emphasize your verbal message. So people who talk with their hands use lots of illustrators. The next one is a regulator. A regulator. So when we're having a conversation with another person, or public communication, or small group, we use regulators to control turn taking. These are body movements that control who speaks when. So what are some regulators that we use on a regular basis? When you're in class, you might do this. Raise your hand. That means I would like to speak. That's a regulator. That's about turn taking, who speaks when. If you're giving a lecture or talking to someone and they go like that, it means what? You're talking and they go, it means I want to talk. I have something to say. I want to turn. I want to talk. So if they start to talk, raise their hand or go, because they want to talk, and you go, it means just a second, I'm not done. Hang on, pause, I want to keep talking for a minute, and then I'll let you take a turn. So those little kind of cues that we give each other with our bodies that say that regulate who speaks when are regulators. Okay, the fourth one are adapters. So these take care of your physical and psychological needs. So if your ponytail rubber band thing is pulling your hair, you go like that, that's a physical need. You got an itch on your face, right? Your lips are chapped, or your neck is sore. These are all adapters. Also, you're nervous. You're bouncing because you're nervous, any kind of emotional need. When you do something because you have an emotional need, you wiggle your legs, or you make a face. Actually, it's less to do with faces and more about your body moving. So we talk about facial expressions. So I'm trying to think of an emotional reaction. If you get nervous and shake, that's an adapter. So any kind of an emotional thing you do with your body, or to satisfy a physical need. So these are not always directly intended to communicate. I don't think to myself, I'm really nervous. I think I'll sweat and let everybody know that I'm really nervous. You just do it. So it's something that just happens. It's some kind of response to your world or your emotions. So is it communication? So when someone is giving a speech and they start to sweat really badly, do we get a communication from that? Do we get any information or insight based on that? I think we do. We do. Either it's hot in the room, or they're very nervous and we can see that. So even adapters. Even adapters that just satisfy a physical or psychological need still communicate something. Okay, so the next thing about kinesics that I want to talk about is posture. So posture can give us insight into 4 different areas. One is relationship. So how we stand in relation to another person can communicate. So if there's another person here, there's a person here, imaginary person right here, and I am talking to that person and facing that person, even leaning into that person, that shows interest. There's a person standing right here trying to communicate with me, and I'm like this, head bent away, even like guarding, like not talking to you. That communicates. So if we cross our arms, what does that communicate? Well, this is sort of part of our posture, right? So sometimes it can just mean I'm cold, but sometimes it means like closed offness, like I'm not open to what I'm hearing or to you or to this conversation. Okay, so status. So how can posture communicate status? What do you think? People with equal status are likely to have sort of equal posture, but if you're with someone who has more status than you, check it out next time and see how the posture differs between people of different status. Gender differences. So men and women stand differently. Let me read you this little bit right here. In the U.S. culture, male posturing and body position is more expansive, taking up a greater space than female posturing and position. So if you ever notice that when a guy sits in a chair, or it's not every guy every time, but just sort of start to notice this. They kind of lean back and spread out, and like their legs are, you know, like they take up as much room as their legs need if there's room there. Who gets the armrest? If there's a man and a woman sitting right there together, who takes that armrest? Who like spreads out and claims their territory? And I'm not the awesomest example of typical traditional like closed space. I kind of tend to spread all my stuff out and take up room, like maybe like a guy would kind of, but typically females sit with, you know, their arms and their legs closer to their body and take up less space in their area. That's just a cultural rule that we probably follow without even thinking about it. Another thing that posture can convey is your emotional state. So can you tell if someone is angry or feeling aggressive based on their posture? Or how about sad or tired or defeated, or kind of like the shoulders down and the head up, right? It's kind of a defeated posture. How about aggressive, like shoulders back and head out, right? Think about it. What kind of emotional states can you tell just by the way somebody is standing?